Hi everybody, this is Bev, Clarkovision, and this video is to show you basically, or to talk about what I got for Christmas in musical terms, shall we say. I hope you all had a nice Christmas, whatever it was you were doing. Hopefully it was a nice, relaxing time. And obviously we're going to be on to the new year soon, and on that note I have been starting to watch a few of the 2021 top 10s, top 20s, top whatevers, or 2020 review kind of end of year review of what stuff, of people's collections, things they got from this year basically. So I've started watching a few of those. I am hoping to get mine out maybe, well, in a week or two. I kind of half surmised it might be way later in the year, February or something, because I am waiting on still a couple to come in that have been delayed. But to be honest with you, I'm just not going to bother with those two, because at the end of the day they've been delayed. I'll just not bother including them. I've got more than enough to include as it is. I seem to buy tons of stuff these days, more than I've ever bought in my life before at this musical point in life, because back in the day when you bought the physical media and stuff, I was a kid, I didn't have an income, so you had to rely on pocket money and birthday money and pleading with your parents and stuff like that. So whereas nowadays, if you allocate yourself a bit of a budget or whatever it is you do, you can obviously work it to suit a bit better. But over the year I think I've bought quite a few, and I'm going to consider how I'm going to do it. For those of you that have maybe seen Cloudy Milders, it's probably going to be in a similar vein to how he's done his. I just like to do a review of the year. I don't really do rankings, so you can expect more of a review. But anyway, I'm not going to ramble on about that now, that's for later. This is just to show, I did get a few things for Christmas. A couple of things came in that were pre-orders on Christmas Eve, which was pretty cool. So that wasn't actually Christmas presents, but everything else was. It's all vinyl, and I have bought a CD with an Amazon voucher that I got at Christmas, so, and that's come in, so I'll throw that in at the end. But so the first one, this came in on Christmas Eve. I'm going to go this side, I think, from Nuclear Blast. I got a dispatch notice from them on Wednesday evening. I thought, oh, and I'm thinking, I don't know that that's going to make it in time for Christmas Day, because, Friday being Christmas Eve, there's no way it was going to, if it didn't make it on Christmas Eve, there's no way it was coming in basically before. So Majestica's A Christmas Carol, the greatest Christmas music album you'll ever hear, unless they come up with something better than this. It shall be a tall order. This was released in 2020 on CD. The guys did it during lockdown, and they said they wanted to do something to cheer up, the music fans at Christmas time, because it'd been such a lousy year. And boy, did they come up with something special. I cannot go over how fantastic this is. And so this year they've decided to issue it on vinyl. It's limited to 1,500. So if you want one, don't wait too long, people. So it's Nuclear Blast. And for this version, they have added 2 new tracks that are not on the original CD. So a couple extra tracks in there which are equally fantastic. It's based on the story of Ebenezer Scrooge. Fantastic. I just kind of go over how uplifting, and I don't know, it's just a feel-good album. So it comes with the lyric sheet and the credits, etc. And it is infused with, some traditional Christmas carols. It tells you all what you hear in the songs including such as O Come All Ye Faithful, Deck the Halls, Jingle Bells, God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, Silent Night, Hark the Herald Angels Sing, you know, all the old school traditional carols. But I kid you not, you've got to listen. It's amazing. If you want something Christmas and new, this is what to get. And it is on limited purple vinyl. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So this has had plenty spins over the last couple of weeks. I was playing the CD, of course, until this arrived. But I'm so glad to have both. That's my the sheets just fell off the side there. I will pick it up at the end of the video. And along with that, it was a pre-order, and I thought, okay, just put something else in, you know, take advantage of the shipping because it's coming from Germany. So I threw this in as well, which had been kind of on my radar for a while, and they had reduced it in price. This is a Sabaton 12-inch single. It was a 2021 release, and they had a couple of different colours. This is the blue vinyl version, strictly limited to 800. Now, unusually, they have actually stuck this hype sticker on the actual sleeve, not the shrink wrap, and for fear of possibly damaging the cover, because it's on a super glossy colour, I'm just going to leave it there. And this bit here, the Royal Guard, is in shiny gold embossed kind of text. So it's the Royal Guard is the single, and you have two tracks, both on just the one side. The other side is etched with crowns. Livgarde, I really have no idea how the second version is pronounced, to be honest. So all you Swedish people out there, you probably know what it is. But apologies, because I'm not too clued up on it. So it comes in a beautiful gatefold. Again, it's gold printed, embossed text on the back as well. There you go. And it's the usual poly-lined inner, and as I said, it is blue, 180 gram. Well, no, it's not 180 gram, it's probably 140, I think. It's quite heavy though, it's quite substantial, and for a 12-inch single. And I don't know how well you can, there you can maybe see the crowns there. That's the right way up, just off in the light there on the other side. So it's a single that's not on their last album. The Royal Guard's not on their Great War. So it's kind of a nice Sabaton collector's piece to have. So that was what came in on Christmas Eve. Now for the Christmas presents. First one is kind of a Christmas present to myself. I spotted this on YouTube. Quite liked what I heard. Was astonished to find that Amazon had a copy in stock at a decent price, and it's a band called Lucifer's Hammer, and their album The Trip. Now this is a 2021 release. This is from this year, and this band, now I believe there's like is there a death or a doom metal or a band of that nature with the same name, but it's not them. I think they might be from America, but this is traditional heavy metal from Chile, Santiago, Chile. Again, the artwork kind of caught my eye as well. Interesting stuff, kind of futuristic looking as well, I think. Well, I don't know. Well, yeah, kind of a mixture of the old and the new, because you've got swordsmen down here and flying objects up here, so just quite an interesting cover. So yeah, the band is from Chile. They formed in 2012, I believe, and they have about 4 albums. And this is on High Roller Records. And as per usual, you get your High Roller catalogue sheet. We have a nice inner sheet with the band and lyrics, and some credits and things there. So, and the vinyl is on a rather interesting pinky purpley magenta kind of purpley. I think the hype sticker, which I accidentally tore, which is why I'm not showing it, called it Grimace Purple. So there's limited to so many on this colour. There was another colour and another colour, I think, 3 different colours. I'm not really bothered about the colour, to be honest, although this kind of does go with the cover. But it's traditional style heavy metal, very good stuff. Really quite enjoyed what I heard, so I was quite pleased to add that to the collection. Now, the Christmas presents that I had dropped hints to Santa Claus about, a few of them did show up, and I had asked for some Chateau, which is a British heavy metal band from the old new wave of British heavy metal era, and this is their first album that they released, the first of 3 I believe they released back in the day. This was from 1983 and it's called Chained and Desperate. And for some reason they don't actually have the band name, at least I don't think. I've been looking for it but I didn't notice it. So they don't have Chateau on the cover. But this is also a reissue. Again, it's High Roller Records that reissued it. And this was a 2017 reissue. So once again, you get the High Roller catalogue. You also get with this one, it came with a poster of the artwork, which is kind of nice. So there you have it. Nice high quality paper as well. And the inner sheet, which is just one-sided actually, you've got the lyrics and a little bit of a write-up about the history of this album. And the record itself just so happens to be on clear vinyl, this particular pressing. So, Chateau. I guess I've got Cloudy Milder to credit for stoking my interest in this band. He kind of described them, obviously, as new wave British heavy metal. And I did sample them out on YouTube, and I quite liked what I heard, albeit I didn't listen to too much. I don't like to listen to lots, just bits and pieces. So I decided to add them to the want list, and so they showed up. That one showed up, and this one also showed up. And this is their third album, Highly Strung, from 1985. Now this is an original pressing, not a reissue. This is on Ebony Records. I didn't realise that Ebony Records are actually born out of Hemmingborough, a little place in Yorkshire, North Yorkshire to be exact, in England. And you've got the old, what does it actually say? Home taping is killing music, la-di-la, on here. So this is in really nice condition. Just came in a plain inner, but the vinyl itself on the lovely No Nonsense Ebony label here, the vinyl is really, really excellent condition. It looks barely played, there's barely a scratch. Brendan Von Doom would, I'm sure, put it in his minty fresh category. It's that good. And for me, I've got to be perfectly honest with you, that's the best thing about this record for me, is its condition. I didn't really enjoy this one too much. I preferred the first one, Chained and Desperate. However, I did find the singer's voice, it was okay, just here and there it was a little bit irritating. And I just felt the quality, certainly on the third album, excuse me for Let's try to get this back in the sleeve. Yeah, on this one, Highly Strung in particular, I just felt the quality of the songs were not that great. There's probably a couple I thought were alright, but the majority, it wasn't floating my boat. And Mr. Tim Broughton, who's the guitar player, Cloudy was right when he hinted at one point there's a bit of overindulgence on the guitars, because that's exactly what there is. He's too busy playing with a swammy bar and fueling his testosterone nonsense, which unfortunately does slightly detract from the actual songs. It's just a bit too much, which, you know, didn't help my enjoyment of the album. I mean, for God's sake, you're supposed to, you know, you're in a band, you're meant to complement each other, and the whole song's meant to come together and be nice to listen to. But so sadly, I must admit, this was a little bit of a disappointment. I'm going to give it a few more spins in the hope that, you know, it might grow on me. I didn't find it just completely horrible, but I really, out of everything I've got in this video, this was the least enjoyable record. The, as I say, Chained, what's it called? Chained and Desperate is slightly better. Well, I think it's a good bit better, to be honest with you. But again, it wasn't super great. I am curious about the second album, the one in between these two, which I don't have yet. So I may pursue it, get the 3 and see. I'm going to keep it in my collection for now. It may depart in the future, but it wasn't. It was a bit of a letdown for me, unfortunately. Some people might like it. It just wasn't quite. Anyway, next. Another interesting band. I have been checking out some French metal bands. Just doing a bit of searching around for them on YouTube and finding what I could, and that was basically influenced by the album I got a few weeks back by a French band called Existence, and one of the chaps in that band, his dad was in the French band H-Bomb from back in the day, so it kind of got me interested in checking them out. And I discovered a band I really like from back in the day from the French metal scene. And it's this band here. They're called ADX. Now, obviously in French you'll probably pronounce these letters a bit different, but you know, ADX will do fine for me. So I noted these down as potentials for Santa Claus if he could find them anywhere, and well, he delivered the goods. So this is so they're a French heavy metal band out of Paris. They, I think, formed originally in 1982, and they're basically just, you know, classic traditional heavy metal from early 80s heavy metal from obviously the French scene. They do sing in French, the lyrics are in French and they sing in French, but that doesn't bother me. I don't mind bands singing in their native tongue, as long as it, you know, it works, and 9 times out of 10 it does, obviously. Just means you can't really understand unless you know the language, but if it still sounds good and the songs are good, that's basically all that matters to me. So this is their debut, Execution. It is a reissue because hunting about on places like Discogs and eBay, well, there's nowhere to be found on eBay, and on Discogs it's a small fortune. So I did discover that it has been reissued fairly recently, I might add, in fact this year, 2021, and it's by Svart Records, which I think is a Finnish label. I think they're out of Finland, this label. So this is a double LP. So on the first record you get the original album, and on the second you get a load of demo tapes from 1984. That tells you. So Face C, it's a French issue. It's issued for the French market because it's kind of all in French writing and French. I think it's just because the original was like this, you know, it was basically a French release, and this is how it was marketed at the time. So it's all in French. There's the lyrics, which are also in French. There is the band from 1980. What did I say? 1985. This came out, and as I say, it's a double LP. Really nicely presented. I'm unsure. I've heard the Sparked records. I'm not sure if I've got something else from them or not. I honestly can't remember. Comes with a nice booklet. It's matte finished paper, but it's kind of a 8-page booklet, and you've got a good write up and classic band pictures here. You know, from back in the day. Now the good thing about this is this story here is in English, so perhaps this was geared, the reissue was geared more for the European market as well. But this is a recent, I think it's an interview with some of the band members reflecting on the history. You know, I think it's a current interview, yeah. December 2020 that was conducted, so I haven't read that yet, but I have listened to it, and it comes on this version in particular. It's 180 gram, and it's red with white splatter. It's more like a spotty splatter than like splatter. And both of the records are the same. But really good. Really enjoyed this band. As I say, the classic traditional heavy metal. They're kind of classed as heavy metal / speed metal. So they do have some fast-paced stuff going on here as well. Just trying to get the hype stickers in here somewhere. Just to read what it says. There is the hype sticker here. So it says, the rare French metal cult album, finally reissued and bundled together with 10 tracks taken from demo tapes, with extensive liner notes by Olivier Zoltar-Badin on splatter vinyl, as it says, but it looks more spotty than splatter, so as I say. And the other one has slightly different custom labels, but it's very similar. So yeah, I was really happy to grab a hold of this, and really happy to have it turn up for Christmas, to be honest. So definitely worth checking out if you're looking for some classic 80s metal with French lyrics. And so I did some more hunting down, and found out that this one here happened to be, yeah, this was in stock on Amazon. They had one left and it was at a decent price, so I dropped a hint again to Santa Claus, and lo and behold, it turned up. Same band, ADX. They are still going today. They kind of went from 82, their information's all on Encyclopedia Metallium, that's where I checked it out. So they went from 82 to 92, then there was another period and they ended again, and then they kicked in again from, I think it was about 2012, and they're still going to present. And so they've been releasing, I've got quite a few albums out in their catalogue now over the years. This is a more recent one. This is from 2016 on Ultim Records, ULTIM. Ultim Records, I'm not really sure, but it's distributed by these guys. Season of Mist I'm familiar with. They are a French distributor. So obviously you can get ADX from there as well. And again, Same deal, it's all French, all the songs, titles are in French. I think they did release something this year and last year, so this is about 3 albums ago. And again, it's excellent stuff, traditional heavy metal, French lyrics. The only difference really between that and that is this is more classic 80s sounding and this is more modern sounding, but really good traditional metal. You get a inner sheet and your lyrics, again all in French, everything's in French, and this is just black vinyl, comes in a poly-lined inner though. So there you have it, and the album is Non Serviam, which I'm not 100% sure what it means, but I'm assuming it means no something or not. No, I think it's non. I did do French in school, but that was a long time ago, and it's all but gone out my memory, I'm sorry to say. But definitely a good discovery for me. Really happy with that. And the last one here, which came from my mum and dad, and I was so chuffed to get this because it's getting harder to find because there was so many. It's limited pressing again, and it's the band Blitzkrieg. I was spinning this last night, and this is their album Unholy Terror. I think it's their 4th release, or is it their 3rd? Or 2nd even, I beg your pardon. 1 second, because I did bring them up on Discogs. If you bear with me. Hang on. Yeah. This is their 2nd album. And it came out, it was originally released on CD only in 1995. Yep. Which was 10 years after their debut. I have their debut on CD, which came out in 85. Then 10 years later, their 2nd came out, which is this one, Unholy Trinity. And boy, is this amazing. I had no clue that such good music was written and released in the 90s, because I had no idea about this at the time, obviously. And it's the same with their 4th album. They had 3 releases in the 90s, according to Discogs here. So this one's 95. The other one I have from the 90s is The Mists of Avalon, which is equally superb. So there's one in between those two that I don't have from the 90s, which I'll probably pick up to see what it's like. But all I can tell you is classic British heavy metal. Again, these guys formed back in the new wave of British heavy metal days, but there was issues with record companies back in the day, which is why their debut was delayed till 1985. But this is just so, I mean, the sound, it sounds like something from back in the day, you know. It's got that classic metal sound again. But yeah, so it's High Roller Records have reissued these on vinyl, thank God. So this is the first time on vinyl, obviously, on High Roller. It's a gatefold, kind of like the artwork as well. Very good stuff. And as usual, you get the usual sheets with it. That's kind of all you got with that one, because the lyrics and credits are printed on the inside of the gatefold for this one. And the only complaint I've got with this, as was with the other Blitzkrieg that have, the Mists of Avalon, is the outer sleeve is extremely tight. It's really hard to get the records back in. So I'm just going to take out one. And this is on translucent blue, kind of a royal blue, but I kid you not, this is classic heavy metal. And this band, when I listen to this, I think, boy, it's unfortunate these albums came out in the 90s, because if it was the 80s, they might have been a lot bigger or more well known internationally, perhaps. You know, because the 90s there was a whole load of other things going on in the 90s, and metal was kind of shoved into the background, sort of thing. Even though I personally thought it had defunct altogether. But so that is basically that. And last, but I do urge you to check out Blitzkrieg, people. If you haven't, please do. I said that before, I think, and I'm saying it again. So, with my Amazon voucher, I just picked up one of the CDs that I had on my Amazon want lists that's been on there. I thought I'll just grab this one. Something I'm not too familiar with, but sampled it and it sounded good, so I'd added it to my wants list. And it is, I've never even heard of the guy before, but it's Cristiano Filippini's Flames of Heaven. And I think it's kind of on the same lines as Magnus Carlsen's Free Fall, is it? Kind of that idea. A kind of melodic, symphonic. I don't know how, it didn't sound overly symphonic from the clips I'd heard, but melodic, kind of power metal kind of idea. But yeah, so I've not listened to it yet, not had a chance. But that's the artwork looks kind of amazing again. And so this guy, Cristiano Filipino, it sounds kind of, I don't know, Italian or Portuguese or something. As I say, I've no idea. That's him there. He is leading rhythm guitars, keyboard arrangements and orchestrations. The vocals is this chap, Marco Pastorino. He's lead vocals and backing vocals. So it sounds kind of maybe like an Italian outfit. Apologies if I've got that wrong, but I don't really know who all the guys are. All I know is it sounds pretty good. Michele Vioni is another guitar player, leading rhythm guitars. So yeah, sounds very interesting, and I'm looking forward to listening to this. So you've got the credits, etc. at the front here. So yes, that is what I've got with my Christmas. So I'm absolutely delighted with that little output. I'll just put that down now. I don't know how it happens, but I guess I just like to talk a little bit about the stuff I show. Anyway, because it's 32 minutes, apologies for that. It is my goal to try and do my 2020 review in shorter segments, which probably means I'm going to split it into either 2 parts or 3 parts, because, you know, I am aware that not everybody likes to sit for 30 minutes and listen to me ramble. It just seems to be how it is with my videos for some reason at the moment, but what can I say? I like to talk to you. Anyway, I'm going to stop now and excuse me. I hope you enjoyed this and check out any of the bands. Please put your comments below if you've anything to say and ask about. I will get back to you. I'm just now going off to get caught up on replying to comments on my last video, because I'm aware I'm so behind, you've no idea, and whatever. Right, anyway, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you all in another video. Bye for now.